about 9:40 Eastern Time. It is at the Naval Air Station in Jacksonville, skidded into the St. Johns River. 136 people accounted for, all of them who were on the plane. I'm joined now by General Hertling. So, General, you have been to this Naval Air Station in Jacksonville. Explain it to us. Describe the station.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty active base, John. I've been there several times. It's right up the road from where I live, and in fact, I stayed a couple of weeks there at one point, saw some of their facilities. It's an active runway. It bumps up right against the St. Johns River in Florida. And what I'll tell you is, this sounds like, without any additional information, but just going on conjecture, given the number of passengers that were on the plane, where it's coming from, this is a normal military deployment flight. And I heard your last guest talking about manifest. Yeah, what I'll tell you is, having been on multiple deployments, the manifest lists are rigorous and disciplined. They normally have a sergeant who's the flight lead, and they have a list of people by serial number, by name, by rank. So they know exactly who's on this flight and what they were doing. And it sounds to me like it was likely a unit that was either deploying or redeploying out of Guantanamo Bay as part of either the guard unit or part of the staff judge advocates that are conducting legal actions with some of the prisoners that remain there. Or it could just be a Marine outfit, because there is a very large Marine contingent on Guantanamo outside of the normal things that, whenever you say Gitmo to the American public, they immediately think of the terrorist prisoners that are there. But there is also a very active Marine unit on that island, and this could be just a redeployment of a unit that's been there for a while.
Yeah, I know you just went through it, but if you can just go through it again for our viewers, since we have learned, General, that this is not a commercial flight, that this was
right.
A charter coming from Guantanamo Bay. So very specifically, and I know you're going to repeat some of the same things, but just plainly and distinctly, who might be on this plane? Who would be on this type of charter?
Well, first of all, the military uses charters a lot. And as I understand it, this was a Miami Air charter, which is something that's used quite a bit in Florida, moving troops in and around both not only Guantanamo, but also being used as both the Southern Command, going into places in South America from their headquarters outside of Miami, but also from Special Operations Command, and Central Command is in Florida as well, near Tampa. So this is an airline that's used quite frequently to move military forces. Most Americans think that when military forces move around the globe, they're always in an Air Force jet like a C-17 or a C-5. That, in fact, is not the case. Most of the time we use civilian charter airplanes to save the wings on our military aircraft. Jacksonville Naval Air Station is a relatively large naval air base. They have quite a bit of contingents there from the Navy and other forces at that base. They have a lot of air traffic in and out of there outside the major northern Florida city of Jacksonville.
Okay.
That air base bumps up against the St. Johns River, and it appears that that's where this aircraft nosed in.
Okay.
So this will be some type of deployment of a force, either Marines or Army, onto the base at Guantanamo, because there is a very large Marine contingent on that island.
So